do you want to say something, or you just want me to keep going?
I'm Angela.
And I'm Cody.
And we are Untethered.
We wanted to take a few minutes today to just kind of introduce ourselves to everybody. We wanted to tell you a little bit about what we're doing and what brought us to this part of our journey. Really not new to the RV world. I grew up camping out of tents. I think Angela did about the same. But boating's been a big part of my life and hers since we were little kids. When we became adults and had our own small family living down there, we bought our first boat, and we realized that 2-hour trek from home to the lake every weekend was kind of getting exhausting. So we actually bought an older Keystone Hideout and put it on a friend's property and kind of used it as a lake house.
It was rough.
It was rough. It was a clean RV. It was
a castle to us.
It was a castle to us, and it was actually a really good RV for a first-timer. Great camper. I think all told, we did one $200 repair on the thing in the 8 years we had it. So can't complain about that at all. But when we bought it, we didn't really think about what we wanted because we really just needed a place to crash at the end of the day when we were all sunburned and tired. So that trailer ended up going with us about 8 years ago when we relocated up to Illinois to take a job opportunity. We actually did the same thing again and put that trailer at a camp lease near a lake that we loved and met some great lifelong friends there.
Yeah.
And that's where it remained up until last year when we decided that we wanted to get out and travel a little more. So we actually purchased a 2020 Jayco, 26-foot.
We wanted it to not fall apart going down the road.
I'm pretty sure by the time our Hideout had sat out in the sun for 8 years, and who knows what happened to it before us, it probably was not roadworthy. But we did get a 2020 Jayco 26-footer with the slide out and some nicer amenities, and we did a lot of traveling last year. We got to see Montana, we got to see South Dakota twice, we got to do Yellowstone and Cody, Wyoming, along with all our normal trips to the lake on the weekend. And as we got into last year and we realized that as our son's grown up and went out on his own and he's doing great things and being successful.
But he can come back anytime.
We figured out that we wanted to be able to travel more. And in with that, we have family in Arkansas, our son's in Illinois, some of our best friends in the world are in Illinois. And we just wanted to travel a little more. And we got to thinking one day, why do we have this big house to take care of when we literally leave every Friday night, and take off somewhere?
We put how many miles on the truck just going to see them?
We drove just a little bit less than 50,000 miles last year. We just realized the house really doesn't serve us anymore. So that brings us to where we are today. We're about, a month? We're about a month and a half into full-time status. We've sold our home. We did a short video on that. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. It's kind of goofy, kind of funny, but it's kind of the culmination of the closing of the house. And we've spent the last 6 months or so getting very serious about full-time RV living. And luckily, we just got the green light a couple of weeks ago from our jobs to work full-time remote, work from anywhere. We'll travel up quarterly to the home office to do that thing, but we were really happy. We have an incredible owner that just has always been very good to us and was able to work this deal out with us. So that's where we stand today.
A little more time with Isaac, which we needed. Definitely more time with family. We needed a little more home time too.
Actually had a good friend and co-worker of ours that we lost this year and it was completely unexpected and sudden, but it reminded us really fast just how quick all of this can be over.
He was our age.
He loved the outdoors.
He loved to talk about what we were going to do, travel with our family someday, and it didn't happen for him. And we decided life's short. So he does ride with us.
Yep.
We We think about them and talk about them a lot.
One of our favorite pastimes at work was to talk about someday. So here we are. We are at the doorway to a new part of our journey. And one thing that we learned last year in our travels, at a previous employer we worked with a great guy that actually spent most of his vacation time every year traveling the country on a Harley. And one of the things that he really pushed at us is that there are good people everywhere. And that if you just take the time to listen to some stories and take the time to get to know some people, that you can really have some great experiences with total strangers. And as in our experience down at the lake in Illinois, some of those strangers turn out to be lifelong friends.
We thought that we knew this, that generally people are good, but we realized that we hadn't fully opened up our minds to people. And then we had a few trips. We had a business trip to Alabama.
Oh, that was the best.
We found people from where we lived, strangely enough, at the time in Illinois. Ran into them. They had an amazing story. We had
just a great story. We bumped into them at a kind of a restaurant pub type of thing on a random Tuesday night, and they were kind of the, hey, how you doing, where you're from? We told them, and they were actually from the same place that we were working, not our hometown, but a town that we moved to. And they had thrown caution to the wind, sold everything, and went down to the Gulf to start a seafood restaurant, and got blown away by a couple of hurricanes and ended up in Birmingham, Alabama, with just an awesome bar and grill there. And
they were so fun. One gentleman we ran into at that same bar, who we got to talking. It was his last night in town. He was tired of the grind, and he was going out west, and he didn't know what he was going to do. He was just going, and I just thought, whoa, that's scary, and that's amazing. So that's not the only experience that we've had, but it did kind of open our eyes a little bit to people.
It definitely gave us the courage we needed to do something out of the ordinary. We're ultimately small town people. We kind of had the mindset of small town, stay local, stay small, and that's totally cool for some people. But I think our experience in branching out and taking the job and relocating 2 or 3 times and meeting some of these people on the road and just kind of opening our minds to new people.
It changed the way we think, for sure.
And definitely gave us the courage to say, you know what? After nearly 20 years of doing the traditional thing, we're going to sell our house. We're going to keep the boat. You're going to see lots of boat stuff and jet ski stuff. Those items could not be parted with. But we decided, you know what? We're going to do this thing. And we wanted to bring you guys along for the journey and show you the good, bad, the ugly, the funny, and the corny. So, join us.
Corny? Who's corny?
We do some corny things. You'll see. You'll see. So, again, we are Untethered. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you find us even remotely interesting. If not, watch one more video, because I think the next one's really going to catch your attention.
Excited about it.
We're really excited about it. We've got some cool stuff to show you there. So hang out with us, join us on the journey, and we will see you on the next video.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Cody. And this is Untethered with club sauce.
I'm Angela.
I'm Cody. And this is Untethered.
Oh, I'm just gonna be.
Do you want to say something, or you just want me to keep going?